Hello there, folks, and welcome to this week's Tiki Tuesday live stream. I am CM Oda, the community manager for Ragnarok 1. Happy to be talking to you guys today. Let me get the chat stuff added. We should be getting in some nicer cameras soon, so kind of looking forward to that. But in the meanwhile, let's get that all set up. It's pretty cool. We actually have enough people doing live streams right now that someone's actually got one going on right now. So maybe I should put theirs up in a corner or something like that. This is the weekly show where I answer questions from you guys. Hopefully the music and all the volume stuff is okay. Yeah, so if you guys are doing RO live streams and would like to, you know, get a little bit more attention, you can actually tweet at Play Ragnarok on the Twitter account, and you know, I'll just retweet. Yeah, I'll just retweet your retweet your message and host your Twitch page if we're not already doing a War Portal broadcast. So yeah, it's a way for us to kind of like, hey, you know, if you see something come up and you're following our Play Ragnarok Twitter, we'll tweet out that we've got a live stream going on. And so yeah, you can go to their Twitch page or you can go to ours, and you'll see their broadcasts up there. It's pretty cool. We've actually had some where it's like multiple people are broadcasting at the same time, so a little tough to choose who gets the nod. Bubbity starts off by asking, any updates on the Thor server? And so Thor server is the new renewal-based server that is going to have the accounts that are migrating over from the Philippines Ragnarok Online on our service. That's right, Zoe mentions you can check out community streams at iroclassic.net/streams. And it's pretty cool. Anyone who's streaming out Ragnarok related stuff, it'll actually pop up who is doing that. It's very cool. Oops. So this week I'm going to be answering questions from the forums. Every week I put up a thread for you to ask your questions in. The questions this week are from here. So this week I'm going to be logging into Classic Server. Oops, let's get that moved over a little bit. So we've got some people hanging out here in the Asgard village, which is very, very cool. We've got our Janeway, and this week we're going to be updating the newbie equipment quest. You can start it out by speaking with Dr. Jones. So actually, let me get a low-level character. And get some basic equipment. This quest is very, very easy. It's just to get you some newbie gear and kind of introduce you to the towns in Ragnarok. Okay, so I already have some Janeway quests. I've got the pouring. I think I still have the Thief Bug quest. So right now, I don't have very much gear, but I do have a cursed ring. So there's that. And so the effects on the cursed armor, it'll give you more HP, more SP. It'll increase the effectiveness of things like novice potions, red potions, and orange potions. So it's a pretty useful gear. And the this right here is the cursed ring. Plus 4 to all stats, but it does decrease by 1 for every 10 job levels. So the power goes down as you sort of level up and you're able to find better gear. We didn't want it to be so nice that you never get rid of it. It's kind of an issue we have with the Eden group, where everything's a little bit too nice, even compared to monster dropped items. But you know, this is just to get you started. This week we're going to be adding in shoes. So I have some effects that were suggested that will probably work for that. Although, at this level, I probably should get that first job. I don't even remember what class I was going to go for this. Tell me what class I should start. So to get started with answering questions, swordsman, okay, that's a good suggestion. Ha ha ha. Acolyte, huh? Well, maybe in that case I should probably head back to Janeway. We haven't put in restrictions like, hey, you must change your first class before you can do the Janeway quest, but maybe we should do that. So I'm going to use my Prontero Warp Pass, which you can refresh by talking to any town Caphra, and they'll give it to you. And we'll head back to the Asgard village. Battle Echo, that sounds fun. I like that. Look at this, somebody's got a shop right over the Asgard teleporter. You can barely see this giant Valkyrie. Okay, storage pushcart. Nope, I did not want to move there. All right, first question for the live stream. Payason says, are we getting Boxer update this week? Yes, we are. Also, they ask about several items. I'll get the list from Capitor and get it posted up on the website. Okay, I'm okay. I don't have too much on me. Southwest of Prontera City. You know, these quests, they definitely are counting on you to be reading a guide or have a lot of time to be wandering around. Quanta Starfire says, hey Oda, has there been any recent developments in getting a developer or two for Classic? You know, we're still trying to get some more support for the Classic server. Hopefully once the Puro merger stuff has kind of been taken care of, we can make another push for that. But there's a number of relatively simple changes that I think could be put in that I think would greatly increase the number of things that we could do with Classic. But it is definitely something that we definitely would like from the development team. And so we're kind of working on a number of projects to improve communication between us and them. You know, you've probably seen the Trello board, and so we're trying to get our contacts and our developers to be keeping an eye on the requests that we're sending them through there, just so that it'll be a way of kind of, hey, you know, stay more organized. No warp passes. Janias asks, why can't I stop asking migration-related questions? Well, anyway, here are the questions about the Eden Group Mark. Since Puro is located in miscellaneous, etc., will it become a usable item when it arrives on Thor? As long as the item, when people have items that have the same database name, they have the same item name or item number on Puro, they should automatically be updated to our effects. You know, we're looking at some of the effects on items that Piro has more current, effects that are closer to what Kero has right now. And so for things like the King Tiger Doll hat or the Immune Shield, we will be getting the newer version of that. Okay, that was a typo, so you know what, let me write that down. Alright, classic patch notes. Alright, so I had it warp me to Morok, but it warped me to inside of the pyramid, so, well, nothing's perfect. So it's very simple. All I have to do is escape from the pyramid and then make my way over to that job change NPC or to that Acolyte quest NPC. I've got my finger on the pot spamming button just in case I run into those bats. Fortunately, the extra HP that I've received from this armor does help me not to die as much, and so even as a lowly novice, still able to survive. Second question was, and since the migration period is almost over, will there be any updates about the gear and other things about the migration process, especially the costumes that were not in IRO? I don't think you should have to worry about the costumes. We're working very hard and pressuring the development team to get those because it's not it's not like a god item, or it's not like Zenny where it has the potential to harm the economy. They're cosmetic items that I think people should be able to hang on to. Next question. Are there any chance that some of the items on Piro and other official servers will be available in the next boxes? Yes. Once we start getting these headgears and items that IRO does not have, if they look like they'd be a good fit for our server, we will put them in quests and lucky boxes. We'll make it so that IRO players will be able to get their hands on it. Ohio 1808 says, Oda, when are we going to get the golden wings on Chaos? I'm not sure when we're going to be getting those in particular. Rookie Kitty says, I wonder when they will update the episode. I think with Heroes Trail... Let's see, I believe right now we are on... I guess we're still on 14.2 Eclodge. 14.3 was put in Caro in 2012. And let's see. That is when they start rebuilding Morok. I think we may have one more. That's interesting. All right, Heroes Trail Part 2 came in originally on December 10th of 2012 on Sakurai, so possible that we may be getting 14.3 before then. We're getting a decent update this week. We'll be adding in the Wave Mode dungeon. Actually, maybe I should test it out. Okay, and the last question from Janius is about Katsuhiro Otomo. Since it's about anime, what's your favorite current anime or most anticipated if it's not aired so far? And what is your favorite anime genre? Fantasy, tragedy, romance, harem, sci-fi, or comedy? I like gag animes. You know, I loved Excel Saga, Sexy Commando. I like random, dumb anime. I think, you know, ones that kind of do a lot of referencing and stuff like that, it kind of reminds me of Animaniacs or Freakazoid back in the day, where it's just goofy, silly stuff and references. For my favorite current series, I really have enjoyed Space Dandy. It has a lot of that it has a lot of that Cowboy Bebop charm, and it's very funny. I like shows where they're able to change the genre week after week and do kind of a lot of goofy parodies. Go out the exit to the north. Yeah, I think the last like harem anime series I watched was Love Hina, and it was just really dumb. I think it worked back in the era of like a Ranma and Half or Tenchi or something like that, but it started being where the main male character was just such an unlikable goof that is like, well, nah. Okay, field 7, northwestern corner of the map. Rookie Kitty says, has it always been laggy due to the number of players? Because I notice when there's a lot of players in Frontier Eden, it gets super laggy. $5 please, says Hayoda. Are you going to make a level 150 to 175 turn-in soon? No plans for that at this time. I mean, one thing is we don't really have a lot of monsters that fit the bill. If you're trying to level up, I'd recommend the new Clock Tower Nightmare Dungeon, which will probably be as high level of characters as can be found that you can be fighting right now. So, oops. Let's put on that dagger. Let's see. She is located 41,355. Oops. Okay, next question. Is from Shaya, who says, are there any plans to address the lag and disconnect issues that are constantly occurring during Chaos Renewal server woe times? It's nearly unplayable and constantly getting disconnection error messages. To address that, we're going to try moving the high turn-in map to a less crowded zone server. Basically, the zone servers are where all the maps live, and in cases where there's a lot of them that have a ton of monsters, ton of people, ton of skills going off, it can bog down a little bit. So we're going to try moving that this week to see if it improves the situation. I definitely know that we had some issues over the weekend with players from Southeast Asia, the Philippines, getting disconnections and getting some error messages. So if you can send us Tracert connection reports, that would help us out quite a bit in determining, you know, we're not saying that it's caused by your connection, but it's possible that a server in between yours and ours could be pooping the bed. And, you know, that's something that, you know, we can report to our internet service provider to see if they can get that fixed. Okay. Yeah. Author. Yeah, one of my first characters was a acolyte. I played that character for a long, long time. Eventually getting him up to priest. I spent hours and hours and hours in Amatsu dungeon, just heal bombing the matchlock soldiers. That was a lot of fun. You know, I also had a battle acolyte. $5 please says, I've got a suggestion. Would it not be cool if there's an item that could change your level 175 aura color? Yes, we've suggested to Caro that maybe players might want to be able to choose, or that you might even be able to have a item shop item that makes it a little bit less urine-y. That's something that is a little bit of a bummer. That's an interesting idea. Can we verify if it's server-side issue or if someone is purposely DDoSing the server? We could check and see if it is a DDoS. Go east and then south into building. If it's a DDoS, we can check for that. If the issue is caused by just too much stuff going on at the same time, like a bottleneck in the packets that are being sent to the server causing an issue, that is a little bit tougher to check, because a lot of the tools that can monitor all the stuff that's going on in itself can cause extra latency, so it can kind of exacerbate the situation. Rest in peace. How about a level 100 to 150 PvP? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The only problem we have is a limited number of map types. Map types are what limit, you know, we can put restrictions on items, or what characters can enter what map. Okay, well, now I've got a mace I can use, which that definitely helps. We're still wearing the cursed armor and the cursed ring, so next week, or this week, we're going to have shoes in here. So let's go and return to a place where I can fight some monsters, get some levels. Maybe go back to Janeway. I did not get another Frontier War Pass, but through the powers of the GMs, Oh, no. No, no, no. Hey, Unripe Apple. Oni-chan says, can you add costume gothic heartwing hairband to the list of enchantable costumes in Molongdo? Yeah, we can take a look at that. Darkstar1234 says, please take a look at this. And that's the people from Southeast Asia who are getting disconnection issues, which I think it's probably one of the connections between us and their server that is failing in that case. TH Bronx says, any information about the tremendous lag happening in Spotlight maps and High TI map? Player base has some ideas of why this is happening, but can you give us official word? Like I said, we're moving the servers around to try to address the issues with that this week. You know, if only to sort of reduce the hurtiness of that a little bit. Necroheliac says ETA on the map server relocation. That'll be this week. Geffen Tournament, ETA on the failsafe Camp Store mentioned. That should also be in this week. Hey, MasterClaw999, how are you doing? Any updates on the airstrike list? Yes. I have been getting numbers from the GM team on how many bots they're banning. I need to be more regular about updating the thread with that info. Draco asks, can we get deviling hats added to the Boxer update, please? They're in past box and never got added. Yeah, I will ask Camptor if we can have those in the box or in Boxer this week. Uh, 139214 says, I asked about unbinding Lope's clues in the past. I wanted to bring it up again. It's character bound currently. Can it at least be account bound so I can give some to my full support characters that cannot kill the monsters that drop them? Ohio 1808 says, is it possible to have an NPC that gives free supplies only for a PvP? PvP is fun, but some people don't want or can't afford the supplies, and so people can learn more or practice how to use their characters in terms of PvP. Well, Uh, yeah, we should probably warp people directly to the NPC where they can pick up that quest. It's an interesting idea, Ohio 1808. We've thought of that before, but a lot of people do like that there are sort of those consequences. Plus, the problem is that though we could create healing items for things like the things that biochemists are going to use, or a lot of the items that skills that are used in skills for WoW and PvP, those we can't replicate. The game will only recognize those items being used, and we kind of can't give people free ones of that. Zoe says, why not allow them access to the culvert if they're on Janeway Quest? Yeah, it's something where, on the one hand, the idea I'd had was to warp people directly into the Prontera Night thing so they can just register there. Because the NPC will actually send them here anyway. Hey, Yenko. Yeah, it's something where we probably just should make it so that if you got the quest through Janeway, you can just bypass it. Otherwise, having players find this is a little difficult. Our streaming community is pretty small at the moment, but we are working on getting more people into it. I'll have to get something to yeah, it's kind of like, well, they do give you a little gear. But yeah, I love to see these guys working on it. Okay, so the only thing we have to do is not get killed. Okay. You know, that's one thing that this quest definitely teaches you. It's teaches you to watch out for monsters that support other monsters. You know, the HP on this Janeway gear sure is helpful. Magiatron says, I'd love to come along, but I have a crippling fear of sucking. Nah, come on. The cool thing is that a number of streamers, I believe Danny X Stream was doing a Janeway 1 to 99 run, so just kind of like getting as far as he could on Janeway on Classic. So there's a lot of people who are doing kind of like not high-end, you know, we have players who are doing Endless Tower, and we have players who are doing newbie leveling runs, so yeah, keep an eye out on the Play Ragnarok Twitter, because I will definitely be retweeting that when our players are running these events. The bane of all new players are the familiars. It's one of the first aggro monsters that you run into, and Yanko24 says, thanks for all the retweets and hostings for the streamers. So yeah, you know, if you're looking to stream RO and you know, you've got Twitter, just let us know at Play Ragnarok, and we'll give your stream a signal boost. If there's, you know, if we haven't recently done a post about your page on the Facebook, we'll also share it up there. Okay. For the unbinding, the loops, I'll have to ask about that. There's a lot, I think traditionally we don't unbind quest rewards stuff, especially if it's repeatable. Then it might make it a little too easy for people to kind of leech characters that would otherwise not be able to take advantage of the quest. Juxtapose says, what's the real reason for the stuck at loading while changing maps issue? That seems to be a connection thing, and so yes, please give us tracers. Also, which do you prefer, subbed or dubbed anime? For me, I'd have to say subtitled anime. The thing for me is I like to hear the Japanese audio because I like hearing the hearing what dialect of Japanese they're speaking. I like hearing what kind of But yeah, I like hearing the original Japanese to kind of tell, like just by the way they're talking to each other, you can tell what social level they're at, like kind of where they're from. If it's like a real snooty accent or a real, you know, countrified accent or something like that. These are kind of like really cool things that it's fun to listen and be able to hear. All right, so I've got some levels. Yeah, that's kind of weird. She does not. Sholin asked about the homunculus leveling problem. It's still possible that we'll be able to do an event or something like that to lower the amount of EXP needed. Exceed break skill bug we're still working on. What we can do is ask Caro for what effects they have on it currently. Okay, you know what? Let me help out just Danny. It just felt good to kill that skeleton. It's not even the quest. Wondering why extreme vacuum doesn't work in dungeons. That one I don't recall, but we'll have to take a look at that. (316-150-2012) asks, any updates about the Thor server? Still on target for opening it up at the end of the month. Okay, no zombies there. You know, not enough zombies when you need them. Hey Oda, will you get bounty boards with the new Nightmare Clock Tower? Possible after it's implemented that we may have them come in. Lupin or Zenigata? I do like Zenigata quite a bit. He's kind of the eternally put upon man. You know, he's kind of doing the right thing, but because he sort of if not the villain, kind of like the antagonist of the series, so he can never really win. So it's a very sad situation. But, you know, his determination and, you know, he teams up with Lupin. That's fun. I like that. Lazarus says, are we going to download a separate client for Thor when it's up? No, I don't think you should have to download a different one. It'll just be, there'll be a new server when you have the server selection. Will we have Janeway for Thor as well? Yes, we're going to have Janeway active on Thor. And so the nice thing about that is that we'll have Janeway active, so even if you don't play, if you don't have an account that's migrating from Piro, you'll still be able to create a character and kind of get some levels on there. So you can participate, and you know, we can start having the communities kind of starting to mesh together. Which anime genre do you prefer? Mech, yandere, sports? I'd still say comedy or comedy action. That's why I like shows like Lupin or Space Dandy or Cowboy Bebop, is because they have a strong ensemble cast. They have, you know, funny stuff. They've got action stuff. It's a good. They're usually very enjoyable to watch. So let's see. That looks like all the questions I've got for today. So maybe I'll just wrap this quest up. But first, got to finish off those zombies, and then. This is like Skeleton Town here. Ohio 1808 says, would it be possible to transfer characters between servers? Not at this time. It's possible that in the future this will be possible. But for now, we're going to say we do not have plans currently to have that. You want the poison spore? Well, if we've got a party now, that isn't the worst thing to get some leveling done, if you guys don't mind. Because I think that's kind of the questions that we have for this week, so I'm just kind of doing some playing here. I love the mechanic of healing to hurt. It's a very cool kind of like, feels like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. Oh geez, I angered this Popering. I mean, something like a transfer between Pyrrha or between Thor and Chaos is something that is possible to happen in the future, but right now, there's still a ton of gears that we have to make sure are, you know, that would really imbalance either Chaos or Thor if they were brought over. So for the time being, we're keeping it pretty separate. But, players can create an account on either one. Oh, come on. Well, I'm doing way more damage this way. Whoops. Heal, heal. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching this show. Let's get some more levels. So she gets some consumables, no more gear. Okay, I'd like to thank all you guys for watching the stream today. Had a lot of fun going through the Janeway quest with some folks who did not realize that I was streaming. I thought they met up because I was streaming, but they were just being super helpful. So, with that, thank you guys so much. So thank you guys again for watching, and until the next time we broadcast, aloha.